Okay. So anyway, moving back to Family Guy. So
yeah, but it was a very, very interesting.
okay, but I'm not even as shocked with that as like. I saw a review, and probably this. Maybe you're gonna say that this is a bad thing to judge the series on, but like I'm judging it off of other things as well. But I saw a review because it was interesting. It was an interesting concept, and I was like, I'm curious how it ended up. It was this guy, and he was reviewing the episode that was a crossover between Family Guy and The Simpsons.
Oh, I do remember that one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So there was a bunch of things he had to say about it, but one thing he wanted to say out front, because it can be confusing sometimes when it comes to crossovers of whose series is this, you know? He was like, this is from the Family Guy writing team.
I fucked. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my god, I totally fucked up at the Tetris. I was about to get.
You got a swap combo there. You got a Tetris while it was on the other board.
Oh, good. How do you get a swap combo?
It's where you fill something out while like it's on the other board. Like the pieces continue to fall, you see, and if it manages to like.
Oh, so the piece I was trying to fit in did fall.
Yeah, it fell into the slot you were aiming for.
Oh, because I thought I lost that piece and I was so sad. Why did I move that? I'll just do
So I don't know. So as someone who you seem to like Family Guy.
It's not the worst to me. I don't think it's terrible, put it that way.
What was your thought on that episode? But I'm curious to know, because this person who reviewed it also didn't care particularly much for Family Guy. He was mainly watching it because he's a big fan of The Simpsons. So that's why he was reviewing it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't mind Family Guy.
Okay, but what were your thoughts on that one episode?
I thought it was kind of disturbing, honestly. It just made me feel kind of uncomfortable. Personally.
So you think it's a bad choice for someone to judge Family Guy?
Not judging. You can judge Family Guy if you don't like Family Guy.
But like, let's say you didn't know, you have limited experience with Family Guy and you watched that episode.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that should be the episode you go, this is what Family Guy is completely all about, because like you said, I get what you mean, it did need to build up, so I did see it coming when they went to the house. I was kind of like, shit, that's kind of fucked. Do you know? Like, you kind of did see it coming when I think about it, like you said. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't...
Whereas, again, keep in mind, folks, I haven't watched the episode, I've watched someone review it. They spent quite a long time on it, but obviously they were taking certain clips and, like, focusing on a specific bits in those clips, you know? So, like, for instance, there was a bit where Homer and Peter were drinking gasoline.
Okay.
Well, you're saying that as if you don't know about that. You saw the episode, you said.
Did I? Oh, I think maybe. Which one is it? They drink gasoline.
There's a trial about Duff beer.
Oh, yeah, I do know it. Yeah, go on.
And, like, Fred Flintstone's the judge.
Yeah, I do know it.
Yeah. It ends with a fight between
I didn't even notice.
Homer and Peter. And it's like animated in a really gross way where you see like eyeballs coming out of their socket.
Ugh.
You don't remember that?
Not really. It's been so long since I watched The Simpsons, honestly. I think...
No, this isn't a Simpsons episode. This is a Family Guy episode where they meet up with the Simpsons.
Yes. Oh, it's this one. Oh, I thought you meant the one with the gasoline. I was like...
The gasoline is in that episode with Family Guy. It's a Family Guy episode that just happens to be crossover with The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like, it was written by the Family Guy writing staff. It was animated by the Family Guy, like, animation team. You know? So that's what I'm talking about. So you're saying... Okay, so maybe now that we clarified as that episode, if you remember it.
These were all terrible choices, so I'll just...
Interesting moves, but so do you have that episode now in your head? Actually, the one I'm actually talking about.
Kind of. Sorry, I'm trying to figure.
Lisa has a story with Meg. About Meg's good at the saxophone.
It's been so, I honestly don't remember much. I watched a lot of time when I watch Family Guy and stuff like that. It's noise in the background, so I don't have to focus too much.
You, for the person who wanted to defend Family Guy recently, you seem oddly like
I just don't
it's
remember all
background noise.
I watch it, so I don't remember a lot of. I don't remember a lot of The Simpsons either. See, that's the thing. It's all those kind.
Oh, for me, first 8 seasons of The Simpsons, I'm sitting down watching it intently. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm like, if I set time aside for it, no other like tasks are gonna be done while watching The Simpsons.
Okay, fair.
Like I'm sitting there on the couch, eyes glued to the screen. I'm not gonna be on my phone. I'm not gonna be doing work. You know, I'm not gonna be playing a game on my Steam Deck. I'm sitting down, full attention on the show, that kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
So that's my kind of like attitude towards that. Now, for things that I like to have on in the background, like. Well, obviously, okay, this should be self-explanatory, I think. I'll watch something in the background. I'll put something on in the background if I've seen it before. Because I can fill in the pieces since I've already seen it before.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, I don't need to have my full concentration on it because I already, like, I know, like, oh, this bit happened before, you know, if I missed something, you know? In terms of, like, new content... I feel like I don't really do that with series at all. I do it with YouTube videos.
Yes, okay.
Like if it's like a big stream video.
Oh
where,
my god, I'm sorry, I was trying to switch things. I just lost it. Never mind.
Like for instance, if it's like an Elden Ring challenge stream, I'll have that on in the background. I won't be paying full attention to it. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really do that with series. I do like the music during these bits. It's like very Russia.
Kind of is, actually.
Because, you know, Tetris comes from Soviet Union.
I actually did not know that, no.
Yep, by far and away the most successful Soviet Union digital media export. Of which there wasn't much because the Soviet Union collapsed in, was it 1991?
No.
But... yeah, so that's why that music's there. So going back to Family Guy, so like, but like even like some of this other stuff that I've seen, like, and I'm saying, so I only did the whole sit down, watch full episode, and focus attention for 2 seasons.
Okay.
That's the only time I've done it with Family Guy. Every other time I've seen it, it's because I've looked up a clip,
Tetris.
I've had a clip sent to me, or and I say sent to me, I mean like on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, I heard about it or something like that. Maybe I saw it in a review or some coverage that people had. So, like, for instance, here's a good little note. So I watched the first 2 seasons only. That means I was never introduced in series to Herbert. Because Herbert isn't in the first 2 seasons.
Oh, who's her in?
The pervert.
Oh, isn't he?
Would you like popsicle? You know that guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's only for boys. He's gay. No, I think the whole point was he's gay, but into little boys. Because he's not that into little girls. It's more little boys.
So my biggest experience with that character is actually there was.
I don't think you'll get away with a character like that nowadays.
I was thinking about that. There was a YouTuber who did basically they played Overwatch, but they had a Herbert soundboard.
Oh, I don't think that'll go down well nowadays.
But at the time, people found it hilarious.
Yeah, guaranteed.
But yeah, him. There's a lot of weird,
Why am I doing it like this? I don't
kind of
know.
Cute. There was this clip I saw the other day, and actually it made me angry. So you can explain to me the context of the clip if you know it.
Oh, I did it the wrong way. Okay, never mind.
So, it's is the guy in the wheelchair Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. So I do like Patrick Warburton. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I can't say too much about Joe. I remember him vaguely from the first 2 seasons, but he had a baby. It looks like in the clip.
He does.
A daughter?
She does, yes, with Bonnie. Bonnie was, remember, pregnant from the beginning, and there is a joke for a while.
I forgot about that she's pregnant
Bonnie
from the
has, no, but she's pregnant for as many seasons, and there's like a running joke for ages where they're like, Bonnie, when are you having your fucking baby? It's just because it was. I think it was supposed to be a play on the fact. I'm totally wrong.
That you have status quo in animation.
Yeah, even though it was acknowledged that it was acknowledged, alright though, that
I completely forgot she was pregnant from the beginning.
she was pregnant from the beginning.
Keep in mind, I haven't watched this stuff since secondary school.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, what do you mean? She was pregnant from the beginning.
But here's the thing. So this is clearly, I guess, from the episode where she actually gives birth. Because she's in the bed, he's beside her, and, you know, she has newborn baby
Yeah.
on her, like, and I think, if I recall correctly, Peter, Lois, Quagmire, and Cleveland are all there. I might be wrong with that.
They're all there, because everyone's like, oh my god, Bonnie finally had their fucking baby.
But do you remember what Quagmire says?
No.
Because I was so confused, and I looked up, like, I had to look it up because it was bothering me too much. So they're talking about how beautiful the baby is.
Yeah.
And Quagmire
Okay.
says something like, I can't believe she's already 18.
Because I did that. Sorry.
And, wait, what were you saying?
I
there?
slid in that last one because I started like terribly and I was slightly worried that I wouldn't get it. Sorry.
And,
I was just celebrating myself for sliding
oh yeah,
that
that's
in.
fine. Now, when I saw that clip, I was like, is he saying what I think he's saying? And I had to look it up. I was like, because it was actually aggravating me after a few hours. I was like, I actually need to know the context for this. Like, is he saying what I think he's saying? And I looked it up, and it sounds like it means what I thought he was saying.
Yeah, his joke is that he wanted to probably sleep with their child, because that is supposed to be what all of Quagmire's strike is that he just wants to bang everything and everyone in sight.
I was giving lots of thought to it. I was like, maybe if people don't think too deeply about it, they think that's funny.
Quagmire is probably my least favorite character. I'm just good at this drop.
I can get that why. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. So I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen lots of reviews. I've seen lots of reactions. Do you know a Serbian film?
I've heard of it from you, I think.
It's seen as one of the most disturbing movies ever made. I remember first hearing about it in secondary school because all the boys in class had watched it online.
Tetris.
There is a sequence that is off screen, but you hear it, where a newborn baby, an adult man does the deed with a newborn baby.
Oh my god, shit. Oh god, that sounds...
And you can hear the baby.
I don't want to hear about that, honestly, Owen.
And
I don't want to hear about that, I'm sorry.
yeah, and when I heard Quagmire say that, that's what came back to me.
I don't think that's what they were going for. I think they were just trying to make the joke that Bonnie was also pregnant for so long and the fact that Quagmire is kind of creepy as fuck.
Oh god, maybe that is what they meant.
I don't think they were going for a Serbian film. I think they were doing the joke.
I just found it distasteful and disgusting. Is how I would say.
But Quagmire is distasteful and disgusting. I will admit that.
So, like, I'm not saying that there's nothing redeemable about Family Guy. It's just, I've seen enough of it, I think, to know that I don't like its humor style.
Well, that's fair. I do know there was like that episode where Quagmire nearly slept with a daughter of his, but he didn't know she was a daughter. She apparently she was a college student, because the whole point is, Quagmire is actually much older than he looks, is actually another thing in Family Guy.
Okay.
That he's actually much older. Like, that he's been around, so the age we know him as isn't his actual, like, age. He's actually, I already know I'm doing bad, so I've kind of like...
You could be doing worse.
Yeah. Ugh, fuck.
It's gonna be tricky to survive, though.
Yeah.
Your only hope is to get them to crash out on the Puyo board.
Yeah. We shall find out in a second. But they probably won't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They got a big, juicy second combo where it was like a bunch of the same color Puyos. I was like, that's gonna hit hard. So that's my personal thoughts on Family Guy. It's just like if it wants to rely on shock value, you know, and like all those like very distasteful types of jokes, like fine, but like I don't want to be part of it, frankly. There's
some jokes that are funny in Family Guy, and there's times they're not. Like I do find like some of this. I think Stewie. I do kind of like most of the jokes with Stewie.
Yeah, and I thought Brian was one of the more tolerable characters.
It's Stewie and Brian. I think I actually like Stewie and Brian, and as well that drop.
But these other characters,
I actually don't mind Meg either. I think it's more the bullying of Meg. It's kind of
so weird that that's the joke.
It's more the bullying of Meg when I think about it, because like Meg isn't a bad character. She's just very much bullied.
Do you know who voices her?
Yeah, it's Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy to me.
Why?
Well, like, why? Why her?
I don't know. She wasn't the voice they originally had. I do know that. They had like someone else. Who was it?
Then again, the main thing I'm thinking about is Mila Kunis from Black Swan. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, but when I think of Mila Kunis, I don't think of Black Swan.
You think of Meg?
No. I think of That 70s Show.
Oh, she was in that.
That was her first role ever!
I've never seen that show.
You don't know the story about how Mila Kunis got into That 70s Show?
No, I don't.
It's actually where she met her husband, Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, Ashton Kutcher. God, I haven't heard that name in ages. So what's the deal then?
Okay. So when they were casting for that 70s show back, like many...
Just to clarify, folks, just in case you hadn't gotten it, I honestly did not know she was even in that show.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Like, that's actually the most surprising thing I've heard all day from you. But basically, the rule was, when they put the casting call out, they didn't want people under 18.
Did she lie about her age?
She didn't. She basically insinuated that I think it was something like she said she was going to be 18 on her birthday, but she didn't say which birthday, so they thought she meant she was going to be 18 very soon, like she was 17 and she was nearly 18, so it was acceptable. She was 16.
Okay.
And
when did they find out?
A little bit after casting her, but they really liked her.
So they kept her.
And I always just think about that as like, do you know what? Girl wanted the job. She wanted to be an actress. Girl got the job.
That's actually, did I ever tell you, there's a similar thing, obviously it didn't lead to anyone as famous as Mila Kunis.
Oh no, that's just one of my, I always just found that really funny. Now, there is the controversy that Ashton Kutcher was 18 at the time, but they actually, if you have to remember, they did not date for many years until after That 70s Show.
My god.
Okay, yeah, I got fucked there. They originally...
How many chains did she do there?
I don't know. Like.
Oh my god, see your Puyo board. The moment you go back, you're losing.
Yeah, no, should I even bother?
If you, well, I was about to say, I don't think you can beat her on this Tetris board.
No, there you go. But yeah, so basically, so that was
a similar story, like that so do you know the horror franchise Friday the 13th?
Yes, I do know Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm. I assume you've never seen any of them.
No, but I know of it, yes.
So the second movie, part 2, okay, actually I better just make sure you know. So you know that a big cliche in Friday the 13th is that characters have sex and then Jason comes and kills them.
Of course.
Good. Just want to make sure you knew that. So, obviously you're going to have a bunch of teenagers.
Which is why in some joke stuff they say, there's like the virgin rule.
Yes, that if you're a virgin that you will survive the horror film. Yes.
Yeah.
That's in like Scream, I think.
Yeah.
In Friday the 13th Part 2, there's obviously a bunch of what are meant to be teen characters, you know.
But they have to be played by adults because there's sex, yes.
Yes.
No, I get that.
Well, not because they actually have sex.
Oh,
It's not
but
a
it's because
porno.
they're in a sex... Oh, no, it's because they're in a sex
Because they'll
scene.
show some of their body in the sex
Yeah,
scene,
no,
so.
that is... I totally understand that.
One girl, however, forged her ID to get into the movie.
I'm going to let this drop, and I totally believe that, because...
Turns out she was 16.
So, she did a Mila Kunis on it.
She did. And when they found out before the movie came out. They were like, okay, we need to get rid of any footage that has her, like, naked in it.
Well, yeah, now, in fairness, Mila Kunis was never naked in that 70s show or anything.
Yeah, whereas in Friday the 13th, you know, there's, like, you know, showing off the girl's chest, for instance, you know, because this is meant to be titillating for the
So,
audience.
I will say, at least there is that. And I don't think that's not what that 70s show was about, so there was never going to be any scenes of nakedness.
Yeah.
She was the hot girlfriend of Ashton Kutcher.
Why did they want an adult then?
Because they just wanted adults, I think.
To work with?
They just wanted people that were like around, like, I don't know why. They just wanted, because the rest of the cast were older, I think was the reason. Because she was supposed to be the youngest character dating Ashton Kutcher's character. And
I think I might see why.
I think that was the reason why. Because she was supposed to be kind of younger than the rest. Like, she was supposed to be like
But
a junior,
still-
and they were supposed to be like nearly graduating or something, do you
But
know?
still within age.
Yeah, so I think it was...
If Purple could... Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So...
There was a reason. I can't think of what the actual reason was, but there was definitely a reason why they wanted...
An older... Okay.
like an older...
So in
actor,
Friday 13, it makes perfect sense why they wanted to make sure that everyone was over 18, right?
Oh, fuck me.
And when they found out, they were like in full panic mode.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Now, in fairness, she kind of fucked them over.
They filmed the scene and everything.
Oh yeah, now, in fairness, she kind of fucked them over for that kind of role. At least with Mila Kunis' role, it was workable, do you know?
So that ends up being actually the most tame sex scene in the whole film. Because you don't really see anything.
Because legally they couldn't
They
show
couldn't, no. So...
Okay, I lost again.
Okay, so this might be where we call it here today, folks.
Yeah.
So here's a lesson that I want you to try to learn for next time, Caitlin, because I think Tetris-wise, you're actually pretty good at it now, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of very impressive, like, moves. Literally, the only ways you could do it, besides, you know, maybe, like, foreseeing further and making sure there's no gaps, is literally T-spins. And that, I didn't master T-spins.
Yeah, no.
So,
I did do the sliding thing
which is good.
a few times, so...
Yeah, so I think you're very good on Tetris. What you probably need to work on a bit more is your Puyo and getting chains.
Yeah, true.
So, one thing I'm going to say is that I know you probably want to hear your own voice, but the episode of where we do the lessons.
Oh, the lessons. Yeah, you
is
said they're up on YouTube, yeah.
So you could go there because, as far as I'm aware, I haven't. Maybe there must be, surely, but like I haven't found anyone else who have videos of the lessons.
Probably not.
So, I would recommend you glance at that. Maybe, I don't know if you could look up some advice about chaining in the meantime.
Maybe.
That would help a little bit. Like, I feel like you're settled with Tetris.
Yeah, I think Tetris is fine.
I think it's Puyo you just need to work a little bit further on. But I think once it clicks, it'll click. Obviously, also, if you could next time glance at those videos I sent you.
Yes.
You don't have to watch all of them. You just have to watch a few
I
of them.
know. I just went to bed. The weather is so nice. I wanted to sleep.
That's fair. But overall, I think you're doing quite well. You know?
Yeah.
So that's great stuff. So we did make good progress today, folks. So hopefully you've... Why was I about to say that? So I was about to say folks. Like, I was trying to say folks. But I almost said jokes. You jokes?
That's all. Folks.
Maybe that's because I'm thinking of our whole discussion about Family Guy and humor.
Do you want to say that? Like, that's all, folks. That makes me think of the pig from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's all, folks. Like, yeah.
That's all, folks. Yep, I watched. I have the Looney Tunes Golden Collection outside, which is literally about 300 shorts. Nowhere near all of the ones they've done. It's not a comprehensive collection by any means, but
oh god,
a lot of good episodes from them.
I don't think Looney Tunes ever had anything that was insanely bad. They're not the best, but they had.
Oh well, I mean, if you watch some of the older ones, then you might come across a couple. But anyway. Point anyway, folks, is that we are making decent progress in Adventure. We got 12 done. That's good progress. Kathlynn showing great promise in Tetris.
Yes.
She needs to brush up on her fundamentals of Puyo, but that's fine. And hopefully you folks are enjoying our conversations all about, started with animals, we moved on to
Family Guy
by the end.
Comics
and
as well.
Comics, and
we kind of talked about Harley Quinn and
I've talked about Bomba and manga.
Yeah, like how the
Rose of Versailles, all that stuff.
Can't wait to watch that.
Just all sorts of topics. So anyway, hopefully you folks have enjoyed all of that. Of course, if you enjoy the content, please do leave it a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Of course, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of our other content. Our Dark Souls series is doing pretty well at the moment, I would say. And we've done a bunch of other puzzle series, like Zero Escape, Day of the Tentacle, Edna and Harvey. Edna and Harvey, I was just pointing out to Kathlynn recently, has been doing quite well, particularly its last episode, oddly enough. So that's all great and fine. Of course, if you want to check out my Twitch streaming, it's under Immortalium. I try to stream every Sunday at around 2 p.m. Irish time. Currently, I'm doing Mr. Run and Jump. Probably not going to be doing that by the time this episode comes out, but I try to do them. If the games are sufficiently hard, they get added to the list as well of games that we can potentially play in the future. I have added several games I've streamed to that list. So that could be kind of fun to check out for the future. And also, go ahead and check out my work on UK Anime Network. UK Anime Network is a website that covers a wide variety of Japanese media. We're talking anime, manga, video games, live action, toys, etc., etc. And I'm covering interesting content on there, so I think you guys should check it out. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, with that all being said and done, this is Owen, also known as Immortalium.
And Kathlynn.
And bye-bye!
Bye-bye!